Yo, 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 yo. Kam Yashara. This your brother JAHsh coming at you again. Yo. Just want to give a big shout out and peace and blessings and love to the family. You know, coming from this Tejas mental state of Texas with hexes that perplexes, you know. Well, all praises to Yahweh God, you know what I'm saying? All praises to the Holy Spirit, who is Yahweh. Right? And we're going to start off this rather little verse. By the rivers of Babylon, this is Psalms 137. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat, and also wept when we remembered Zion. On the willows within, we hung our lyres. For there our captors requested words of song from us, with our lyres playing joyous music, sing for us from Zion's song. How can we sing the song of Yahweh upon the alien soil? If I forget you, O Yasharal, let my right hand forget its skill. Let my tongue adhere to my palate. If I fail to recall you, if I fail to elevate Yasharal above my foremost joy, remember Yahweh for the offspring of Adam or Edom, the day of Yasharal, for those who say, destroy, destroy, to its very foundation. O violated daughter of Babylon, praiseworthy is he who repays you in accordance with the manner that you treated us. Praiseworthy is he who will clutch and dash your infants against the rock. So all praises to Yahweh, you know. That's Psalms 137 out of the Tanakh, the Stone Edition Tanakh. And peace to the brother Judah Natsara for introducing me to that book and reintroducing my spirit to the Tarawah, or the inner teachings. That's my elder right there. He's probably gonna be like, man, but only for a little bit. Only for a little bit. But check it out. All praises to Yahweh, you know. Man, you know, there was a lot I was thinking, but it's crazy because I put these headphones on to record this, and usually I'm out doing a walk, and it's easier to just get the thoughts out free. So now I have to kind of think about things that I heard brothers discuss or whatnot. So bear with me. But, you know, this might end up being something different, because it's been a minute since I've read some scriptures online like this or whatnot. So, but, you know, just had an overnight shift. Woke up around 2:30 this afternoon, and you know, just kind of laying there. And I also want to give a shout out to the Torah Knights, who are doing a great job, man. You know, and if you don't believe that, then you must be a demon. Nah, I'm just playing with you, but yeah, because they broke down they broke down Paul or Sheol, and elevated our people from death, man, keeping brothers from the mental death. So, you know, but let's talk about the spirit, right? Let's talk about Yahweh, because all praises to Yahweh first and foremost. Again, Yahweh God, who gives us life, who gives us breath, who gives us thoughts, who gives us feelings. A lot of people don't realize that. Yes, We do have feelings. So that's a shout or a cut to all you brothers out there, brothers and sisters out there who always claim to be not in your feelings. But you'd be surprised just how few and far between that is. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. So here's the thing. We are Yasharah. We are the original Israelites. We are the original Jews, so to speak. We are the oracles of Yahweh. Yahweh uses us as mouthpieces. Yahweh uses us to communicate Yahweh's message to this world, to this globe, right? No matter what language we're speaking in, whether it be English, Spanish, Portuguese, anything. Name one. Yahweh is in control of all souls. So just think about that, and think about that as your walk, because like I said, you got to give thanks and praises to Yahweh for waking you up, for allowing you to see things, for allowing you to see the sunlight as it shines, for allowing you to see reflections, to allowing you to see shadows and light in the whirlwind of principality play, if you will, that goes on. So I want to just chime in with all the brothers and sisters out there, and peace to the Shalom, peace to the brother Solomon, peace to the brother Zadok, peace to the brother Negi, peace to the brother Lamar, right? Peace to the brother oh man, what's the brother's name? We got so many brothers. Oh man, Russell Sullivan. Peace to the brother Russell Sullivan. Man, don't worry about no one having a whole lot of views. It's not about views, man. It's about getting that message out. Trust me. Because there'll be times where you might not have any views. So don't even sweat that. But you're preaching the right thing, man. You're reintroducing brothers into the heavens and the earth, and how Yahweh created all things through the principle Alahims. You know what I mean? Through Alahim. So don't even sweat it, man. And there's a lot of deep things we always talk about, and there's a lot of things we get in the deep waters, and it's like the abyss, because Yahweh has put us here to bear witness to his different principalities and to himself. And that's what we do. That's what we do as Torah Knights. We are the living Torah. It's not just the book that we are reading from, but that book that is there is a guide. Just like books, I don't put one book, so to speak, over another, at least not me, because I've read comic books and heard Yahweh speak through comic books. Now, Yahweh didn't come out of the comic book as Yahweh, but Yahweh revealed the message through the comic book, So that's why I want to warn brothers to really realize, man, start looking inward, Start turning your focus inward, turning your eyesight, your mind sight inside. And you will truly understand why Yahweh said there's not anything in the earth that can be a fit home for Yahweh or a dwelling place. So by design, Yahweh has opened you up to the mind so you can see your temple within. But even inside, in the presence of Yahweh, you could be taken to places that are far beyond the temple, to the farthest reaches of the so-called universe, as we say. And how do we know the so-called universe, right? Now, I get it. A lot of this is abstract. I am an abstract brother, so you must forgive me if you don't get what I'm saying. Right, because the message is not always peaceful. Understand that. Here we go. Let's just go back in time. Right? Let's go back in time. All right. In the beginning of God's creating the heavens and the earth, when the earth was astonishingly empty, with darkness upon the surface of the deep, and the divine presence hovered upon the surface of the waters, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated between the light and the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning one day. Now, mind you, there was evening and there was morning one day, and this is before the sun and the stars were created. So this is not the evening and the morning governed by the sun, right? This is the evening and the morning governed by the spirit of Yahweh, or aka Elohim itself. And this is the mind that you must have in order to destroy these demons, because the demons are only locked into the carnal, to the physical goings on of things. And the demons have their play field with knowledge that used to be their estate, right? So that's how so-called heavenly knowledge can confuse us and lead us astray, like Gnosticism. And, well, I say Gnosticism because it's one of those things where it's almost like wisdom, but it's not. It's purely the worship of knowledge. But we all know you can't have knowledge without wisdom. So that's another praise to Yahweh. Right. So going back to, Barashit, right? Bara Shia, right? Bara Shaya, Baraya, right? Bara Ashayak, Bara Ashayak, right? Representing our house, right? Representing our head, right? The origins of our home, of our soul, because we are beings of Yahweh's soul. And we understand that Yahweh is light. That's how we are able to bear witness to Yahweh, because the form of Yahweh that we're able to bear witness is light. Because if we were bearing witness to the darkness, then there would be nothing perceivable. Do you understand what I'm saying? There would be nothing perceivable. But you can bear witness to nothing perceivable within. Obviously, in the state of the physical world that we are living in now, you can perceive things. You perceive the sunlight. You perceive your neighbor walking, right? You perceive motherfuckers, rolling in their vehicles. You perceive the debaucheries and blasphemies and all kinds of crazy things. It's all in your depth of perception. So when we talk about the beginning, we're talking about a place that's unperceivable, a vast expanse of nothingness, where Yahweh dwells, right? Because none may enter, right? Even Moses barely was able to stand in the presence of nothing. Let's get that. Let's get Exodus, right? Let's get back to Exodus. That's right. Where Yahweh reveals all things. Let's see. Let's see. Salat, Salat. Let's see here. All right. All right. Salat, Salat. All right, so we're just going to get back to right. So we're going to get back to the presence, right? Because whenever Moses was on the mountain, Yahweh said, I have indeed seen the affliction of my people that is in Egypt, and I have heard its outcry because of its taskmasters, for I have known its sufferings. I shall descend to rescue it from the hand of Egypt, and to bring it up from the land to a good and spacious land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. And now behold, the outcry of the children of JAHsh has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression which the Egyptians oppressed them. And now go, I will dispatch you to Pharaoh, and you shall take my people, the children of JAHsh, out of Egypt. So here we have it. We have the call to go and take the children of JAHsh out of Egypt, or out of the lower state. And you notice that Yahweh says, I will descend, because the lofty mountain that Yahweh is upon can also be akin to the darkness, the dark heart, like Judah was saying about the heart of the mountain, right? The dark heart. It's a lot. So Moses saw Yahweh in the burning bush. It was holy ground. Moses saw Yahweh from the mountain. It was holy ground. Back to Genesis. That mountain could be akin to, before all things were created, the vast expanse of emptiness, also a form of nothing. Also where Yahweh dwells, in a state of no things, where no things are. Right? Because Yahweh is the purest. Amen, amen, amen. Yahweh, Yahweh. Right. So we know that Yahweh gave us the land of our enemies. And also Yahweh reassures us that we will take the land of our enemies and use it and purify it, because we are the antivirus, if you will, to the body, right? We are the salt of the earth. We are the antivirus in the earth. We purify the earth because we have righteous thoughts and we have righteous actions. That's why we're the most hated, because when we approach doing things, we approach doing things in a righteous manner. But that righteousness exemplifies purity. So therefore, we represent Yahweh, who is the most pure. So when the demons and the way this world, the secular world, reacts to you, it reacts to you as if you were trying to purify it. And that's why we get the reactions that we do from the world, right? Con. Yeah, sorry about the moment of silences that are going on there. There's one particular verse I was looking for, and I can't find it. It's the one where Moses was he was only showing Yahweh's backside because the presence of Yahweh was so intense, right? He couldn't see Yahweh full on. All right. And that's kind of how it is with us as Yahshua, because we know to see Yahweh full on is almost blasphemous, as JC, as Zadok would say, or Jebus Karast, who claims to be an equal with our Heavenly Father. So we know that that's some fallacy, no pun intended, you know. But sorry about that. Yeah, we just gonna get into it, man. We just gonna chop through the levels then, because night is falling. We're just gonna chop through the levels, right? So we're gonna get into Deuteronomy 25 and 11, right? If men fight one another, a man and his brother, and the wife of one of them approaches to rescue her husband from the hand of the one who is striking him, and she stretches out her hand and grasps his embarrassing place, you shall cut off her hand. Your eyes shall not show pity. Right? So look at that craziness right there. So that proves to you just how important our generative functions are, right? So a woman's hand could got cut off if she accidentally grabs you in the areas. If you're in a fight. So because that's her, whether it be conscious or unconscious, reaching out to a place that she knows that could make you weak. So that's a penalty, right? Because there's other ways to go about breaking up a fight amongst brethren. And then let's continue. It says, you shall not have in your pouch a weight and a weight, a large one and a small one, right? You shall not have in your house a measure and a measure, a large one and a small one. A perfect and honest weight shall you have. A perfect and honest measure shall you have, so that your days shall be lengthened on the land of Yahweh, your power gives you. For an abomination of Yahweh, your power, are all who do this, all who act corruptly. So we hear this statement thrown about Yasharal many times amongst camps, amongst ourselves. But peep the link though. It came right after the verse talking about if your wife or your rib, right? If you're fighting with one of your brothers, reaches out, accidentally grabs your, messes up your possibility of generation, she gets her hand chopped off. So that's a double-edged sword too, because it also says, it talks about just weight and just measurements, right? So that's also talking about purification, because you have to purify. So that's why that verse comes after that too, speaking of generation, or speaking of things that could harm your generation. You know what I'm saying? That's why we gotta love the Torah, because it's just deep, man. It's deep waters like the abyss. So sorry for the long pauses in between or whatnot. Like I say, it's been a minute since I jumped on just one of these conversation type things. And also there is, I have about 4 recordings about the book of Enoch and the Enoch calendar. And I'm kind of debating whether I should put them out or not, because really all of the feasts and the calendar system and all of these things are spiritual principles that is about building the kingdom within and about you being the priest within, right? And enforcing these things, if you will, upon Yasharal. So I don't want to confuse brothers talking about how to outwardly celebrate these feasts and things, but I'm thinking about just putting it out just for information's sake, just because a lot of information is in it, and it talks about the sun cycles, but I'm not totally clear on that. But there is a large compilation of information on that. But nevertheless, let's continue. Let's get it. All right. Still chop these demons' heads off with niceness. I'm going to kill them with kindness today. Right. So let's get Deuteronomy 1, verse 26. But you did not wish to ascend, and you rebelled against the word of Yahweh, your power. You slandered in your tents and said, because of Yahweh's hatred for us, did he take us out of the land of Egypt, to deliver us into the hand of the Amorite to destroy us. To where shall we ascend? Our brothers have melted our hearts, saying, a people greater and taller than we, cities great and fortified to the heavens, and even children of giants have we seen there. Then I said to you, do not be broken and do not fear them. Yahweh your power, who goes before you, he shall make war for you, like everything he did for you in Mithraim, before your eyes, and in the wilderness, as you have seen that Yahweh your power bore you, as a man carries his son on the entire way that you traveled until you arrived at this place. Yet in this matter you do not believe in Yahweh your power, who goes before you on the way to seek out for you a place for you to encamp, with fire by night to show you the road that you should travel, and with a cloud by day. So there we have it. Yahweh will protect us with a fire by night and a cloud by day. And that continues to this day. That's part of your shield. Your shield as you walk outside in this world. You're protected by the cloud by day, because people can't peep you, right? And then the fire by night, because at night, just burn motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? Set them ablaze. Send them to the purifying place. So we're going to kill them with kindness. We're going to bring them back to this word of Yahweh. Bring them back to this holy temple, right? Kill them with kindness. Because we see how brothers do, right? Especially Torah nights, see. Brothers come into this knowledge and this truth, and they can't stand, man. They can't stand. They ain't got no ground to stand on, right? Brothers battling camps talking shit, wishing death upon us, death threats. You know what I'm saying? Diminishing our talents, talking about we don't have this type of skill or that type of skill. But I don't ever fret, man, because all of the curses always end up becoming blessings and enlarging my family and my household, you know? So I don't care what it is that they come in with as far as curses, because it's always a blessing, right? Because Yahweh has blessed us. Yahweh has put his name in our hearts and our mind and our soul, right? Yahweh, who is the ruler, the sovereign ruler, the mighty majestic, the healer, and also our shepherd, our savior is Yahweh. So, you know, there is not a thing that exists that will save us. Only Yahweh. So let's get this up. Let's elevate. You know what I mean? Let's elevate. Let's elevate, because we hear a lot of Joshua talk right about now. We hear a lot of Joshua talk. So we're going to get what Joshua is doing. This is the eternal lessons, you know what I'm saying? These are eternal lessons. When you take time and space out of it, then you see that it's an eternal lesson. It goes on and on and on and on and on, on and on and on. You know, shouts to Erica Badu for jacking our eternal principles and selling it to the carnal world. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, don't think we didn't see that. Let's see. And this goes out for a lot of brothers and sisters out there who don't think we are noticing things. The real watchmen of Yahshua, we notice all these things, man. We notice all these things, you know. We notice these camps out here who want to continue to put an equal with Yahweh. We notice that y'all want to put Yahweh Shai with Yahweh. Well, listen, man. Yahweh Shai is talking to you right now. And Yahweh Shai is murdering you. You know what I'm saying? Slicing your head off, you know? Slicing them arms off. Slicing the arm of your rib off, you know what I'm saying? For trying to crush our generation. You dig? So, hey, it is what it is. Check it out, though. We're gonna get to these kings. We're gonna get to these heads of these kings, man. We're gonna chop these heads of these kings. You know, we're trying to take this land back, man. We want our land back, right? We want our land back. Give me the kings list. Here we go. Give me the kings list. Joshua 12. These are the kings of the land whom the children of Yasharal smote, in whose land they inherited on the other side of the Jordan. Not on that side, but on the other side. Not on this side, but on that side. And how do we get across? Remember, the priests in the waters of the Jordan, right? The mini Red Sea. This is the mini Red Sea crossing. The little Red Sea crossing, right? Take up your generations. Take up your stones. And there's another, you know, gird your loins. Take up your generations. Make sure your generations got your names. They got your name in there. Praise Yahweh. These are the kings of the land whom the children of Israel smote, whose land they inherited on the other side of the Jordan. Right? All these brothers wearing Jordans. Hey, we're not knocking you wearing the shoes, but look at what it's representing. It's representing the Jordan. We got to cross the Jordan. That's why it was such a big deal when Allen Iverson, the answer, right, crossed over Jordan. But brothers don't peep that, man. That's why we give praise to Yahweh all day and all night, because the truth is here. The truth is here. You see the truth everywhere, but are you in the spirit? Are you in the spirit? You see how, like, the Sakari camp or whatnot, They want to talk about the spirit, but we already did lessons on the spirit. And if you don't know that the spirit of Yahweh is what is within the prophets, the kings, then how are you going to understand any of the Torah? How are you going to understand any of that? Right? These brothers are looking for one person to come in the spirit of Yahweh, full of the whole spirit of Yahweh, which is blasphemy, because there's nothing on earth, there's no creation that can contain the spirit of Yahweh. Come on, man. That's why Yahweh is our power, because we get inkling, we get divisions, we get pieces, we get portions. And that's to constantly keep us level, that's to constantly keep us level-minded, right? To constantly keep us even keel, right? That's to constantly keep our stones with the correct weight. That's to keep us in our generations, right? Here we go. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, 1, which was near Bethel, or near the house of the powers, right? The king of Yasharal, 1, right? There we go, the old Yasharal, you see? And it was foreshadowed since then. The king of Habaran, 1. King of Jarmuth, 1. Lachish, 1. Aglon, 1. Gazar, Dabar, Gadar, Haramah, Arad, Labnah. Pardon me too, because I'm just going down the list. But you brothers get it. You know what's up. Just listen, feel it. Batal, Tapua, Hafar, Afak, Sharan, Madah, Hazar, Shamaran, Maran, Akshaf, Ta'anak, how ironic, right? Megiddo or Megiddo, right? Kadash. Look at all these places and go to your concordances and peep some of the meanings of these places. And then you will know why we must slice these heads of these kings. And we get these attributes back. Some of these places are hills. Some of these places are mountains. Some of these places are villages. Some of these places are sanctuaries. Some of these places are river fields. Some of these places are bountiful. Some of these places are fruitful with livestock. Some of these places are all principalities within your mind, Yasharal. But of course, what happened? As we see, a continuation, right? Because we always will continue. Joshua was old, well on in years, and Yahweh said to him, "You have grown old, you are well on in years, and very much land still remains to be possessed." You see? So this is the land that remains. All the districts of the Philistines and all the Geshurite from Shahor, that is before Egypt, to the border of Akron northward, is considered to be the Canaanites' territory. So we see here that there's still more land to be taken. And that's what we're here for. We take these lands, and everyone has it in their minds about how that's going to happen. Some people see Israelites as building an army in the modern day sense, going up against the government military. Well, I'm not saying it can't happen, because with Yahweh all things are possible. But what I'm saying is that's just the mind state. But what the mind state of those brothers with that mind state aren't peeping is the warfare that goes on within us every day. Yahweh will win these battles within you, which will affect the whole physical world. But y'all might not be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the truth. And that's why I just give praises to Yahweh. Because, truthfully, it's not really that I think about this stuff, but I think about that. But I just ready myself to be a mouthpiece to the Spirit of Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? I just ready myself. It's not that I think about these things all the time, because I'm like y'all brothers. I'm trying to survive here in Babylon. I'm trying to maintain, make this little dough, use it accordingly to keep myself up, keep my fam up, and just stay survival mode. So that's just where I'm at, and of course, but we see that Yahweh still speaks through us, through the Spirit, right? So just ready yourself to be a mouthpiece for Yahweh. Let's continue. We're going to jump. Now we're going to get back, right? We're going to get back. All right. I'm going to take a short break here. We're going to come back on. Salak. All right, sorry about that. I was just hearing what I recorded earlier. So let's continue to get it. Let's get it. All right. So, all right. And this is where more brothers need to be right here. Let's go to Job 6:15. My brothers have betrayed me like a seasonal water course. They shift like the flow of streams, tucking themselves under ice, hidden under concealed snow. When they are scorched, they shrivel up. In the heat, they depart abruptly from their place. They determine their own courses, enter the wastes, and are lost. They set their eyes on the path to Tema and draw a line toward the direction of Sheba. People become ashamed for having trusted them. They approached it and were humiliated. And now, this is how you have been. You saw disaster and became frightened. Did I say, give me money, or use your power to pay a bribe for me and save me from an oppressor, redeeming me from fierce men? Instruct me, and I shall be silent. Make me understand where I have erred, how eloquent is upright talk. But what result have any of you proven? Do you believe that mere words can convince? Empty talk is so much wind. You cast anger upon an orphan. You dig a trap against your friend. Right? Now, be so good as to turn to me. See if I speak falsely before you. Please reconsider and see that there is no dishonesty. Reconsider again. I am right. Is there dishonesty upon my tongue? Can my palate not discern folly? So this is the kind of discourse that we should have amongst brothers, where brothers are, because brothers be going wrong a lot, man. Brothers be falling off every day. I fell off. I've fallen off. But we have to think about what it is that makes us fall off, right? It's a need. It's a need for what? For control, right? We forget that Yahweh is in control of all things. So look at the example Job was having. He felt distraught. He felt like, no one was listening to him. He was pleading his case. We find ourselves doing that all the time. And truly, we do. We find ourselves doing that all the time. That's one reason that reading Job is a good thing, because you can find yourself. You can find yourself in books, in this Torah, in this Tarawah, in this Tanakh. It's our reflection, y'all. It's our reflection. So, and I do apologize for being across the board during this rant, if you will. But, Yahweh has given me a gift to, some brothers might hear a message in one part of the commentary. Another brother might hear a message in the other part. I'm just like, I travel amongst the houses, you know. I travel amongst the tribes. And I gave a message to the tribes. Sometimes to all Yasharal, sometimes to specific tribes, you know. Telling them to avoid the lies. Tell them to avoid the lives and the lies and the lies of the lives who Starship Enterprise. Right? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Darawah. Woo, let's see what happens though when we hear blasphemy. Right? Because this land is full of blasphemy, right? Kardashian, transsexuals, hypocrites, you know what I mean? Brothers who are perverts, brothers who think they know it all, brothers who want to teach you some things about the Torah, but aren't living the Torah themselves, aren't even living Torah, don't even have the spirit of Yahweh within them, just book smart. I think y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, that's why, you know, hey, that's why Yahweh is merciful, man, because we want brothers to always return to Yahweh, ultimately. And Yahweh will be the one who decides. And you will hear his voice. You will hear the voice of Yahweh chop the heads. And who can take that back? And that's why brothers get confused. They don't know that that's the voice of Yahweh chopping off these heads. Who's going to take that back? I dwell in a place of mercy and peace. I bring you mercy and peace. If you hear Yahweh chopping heads through me, then so be it. That's what you hear, right? Kill him with kindness. Yeah, so therefore, this is Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel 20 and 27. Therefore speak to the house of Yasharal, son of man, and say to them, thus saith Yahweh, your power. Your fathers blasphemed me further, even with this, when they acted treacherously against me. I had brought them to the land that I had raised up my hand in oath to give them. And they saw every high hill and every thick branch tree. They slaughtered their sacrifices there, and they offered their offerings of provocation there. They placed their satisfying aromas there, and poured out their libations there. Then I said to them, what is this high place to which you only come? Yet it is called a high place until this day. Is it not called a high place to this day? Do we not bash Jebus Karast? Is it not called a high place to this day? Is it not to this day a place to where they bring their aromas? Is it not today a place that they make equal to Yahweh? Is it not? Is it not? Is it not? Is this not the struggle that we have as Yasharal day to day, bashing these idols? Is it not the struggle? I mean, yeah, I joke, but the double-edged sword swivels both ways, right? You might hear me talk about one way, but you better not sleep, because you're getting set up for the other side of the cut. You're getting set up. It's a double-edged sword. Yasharal, you're supposed to guard the gate of Eden. How are you going to do that if you're accepting all things and everything? I tell you how you're messing up. It's because you only got one-sided sword. You got a broad sword. You don't have a double-edged sword. You got a broad sword. Who's your broad? You're letting your broad get in the way? You got a broad sword. Right? You're letting Babylon, that whore, in? You got a broad sword. You don't have a double-edged sword. That's why I give praises to Yahweh, Akkad, for filling his spirit up and for allowing us the opportunity to converse with each other. Right. And for filling his spirit up, using his hands to caress and nurture his spirit. Right? Caress and nurture his spirit within us. Filling his spirit up. But y'all sexual deviants don't understand that. All you think is perversion. That's all you think. Day and night. Perversion, perversion, perversion. You won't lift up your sister. You won't lift up the spirit of the woman, right? You won't dominate righteously by giving the word of Yahweh, right? But you will give her strong drink. You will have her worshiping the penis. But Yahweh will have her respecting your power regardless. Right? That lesson might be too far for them, y'all. That might be over their head. Let's continue on. Y'all decide. All right. All right, so we're gonna get into breaking the yoke. We're gonna get into the prophecy to break the yoke of Adonis, right? The king of Babylon, or in any and all of Nate, right? We're gonna get into of comfy. We're gonna break the yoke of the kings of Babylon, right? Jeremiah 28:2. Thus saith Yahweh, master of legions, master of the warriors, master of the angelic host, master of the legions, power of Yasharal, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylonia. In another 2 years I shall return to this place all the articles of the temple of Yahweh that Nebuchadnezzar, or, king of, I'm not even going to try to do that in Hebrew. I do it on my own, but for the sake of this, we're just going to do the word play. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, took from this place and brought them to Babylonia. See, took our stuff and gave it to the world. That's why they can't tell you anything, because when you take back your portion from the world, and you see how they react, then you know that they were enemies of Yahweh. And how deep is that when you are the word? When you take your word back, you realize they were using you. And that's what I'm saying. The spirit of Yahweh, come on. Praise Yah. Yahweh was an Israelite. Yahweh will take back the spirit of Yahweh that they are trying to use to hide behind and to hide their demonic purposes. Just like, why you think they use, like I said in the video, why do you think they use that name and not any of the other names of the patriarchs? Why? Because Yahweh was given a portion of wisdom from Moses. But they know they can't fit Moses' shoes. They would rather fit a smaller shoe, something that's more malleable. Because if they was to say, in the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham Moshe, then you know that they would expose themselves, because they are not living like Moshe at all, right? Heck, you can even hear the word of Moshe in them, even if they wanted to. It's a lot. But right. So he says, and I am returning Jeconiah, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and all the exile of Judah who have gone to Babylonia. I shall return to this place, the word of Yahweh, for I shall break the yoke of the king of Babylonia. So we're just using those as examples, right? Those are our brethren of old who fell off, right? But it's, like I said, you take time and space away, it's eternal. The lessons are eternal. So we are the ones who Yahweh is bringing back and removing the yoke from these kings in these camps. He's already removed the yoke from the world. We're not going to trust Amalekites. We're not going to trust Idumeans around the world, because we see the spirit. Their spirit is that of conquer, and destroy and use. How the earth is getting used right now, more so. For example, all the oil drilling right now. If you were to stumble upon a natural oil spring, right, then you could utilize that oil because it's coming up naturally. But then when you try to persist and you try to dig up and where that oil is coming from, and you do more digging and more siphoning, then you become a parasite, because Yahweh has given you the natural oil spring itself. Right? Let's continue. All right. All right, so this is we're going to go into 2 Samuel, where David's servants remain loyal to Dawad. And this is just like us remaining loyal to the house of Judah, right? To Mount Zion itself, the city of Dawad, the Yasharal. Once Yasharal, let's just get into it, right? So to set it up, it goes like this. 2 Samuel 13. The bearer of news came to Dawad saying, the heart of every man of Yasharal has turned to Absalom, right? And we can consider Absalom no different from our own brethren within Yasharal. Dawad then said to all his servants who were with him in Yasharal, arise, let us flee, for there will be no escape for us from before Absalom. Hurry to leave, lest he hurry and catch up to us and thrust evil upon us and smite the city by the blade of the sword. The king's servant said to the king, whatever my lord the king decides, your servants are ready. Now the question is, are you ready? You see how that goes? Yasharal should always be ready to fight with Dawad, right? Should always be ready to serve King Dawad. So where in our minds do we get another king from? We know the history. We see what happened with the first king, right? And we see what happened with subsequent kings afterwards. We know the history. We know that by Yahweh's Holy Spirit, or by Yahweh's Spirit, or by Yahweh alone, Dawad was given the layout of the temple and was given the instructions on what the priests shall do. Is this not the city of Dawad? Is not the city of Dawad where Yahweh presence lives? Or did ye forgot so easily, Yasharal? Y'all know I love this one, but let's go back to it. Psalms 87. That's why I laugh at all the rest of these tribes out here. Y'all trying to raise up, man. Y'all want to be the spokespeople for Israel, but you're not giving props to the city of Dawad. You're not doing it. You're not even giving props to your eternal king who is forever, who is Yahweh. But we know Yahweh is most beloved above all gods, right? So how can you not love Dawad? But yet I always hear brothers and sisters always go back and want to point out where Dawad had problems, or had maybe fallen off, so to speak. But y'all need to be careful when y'all do stuff like that, man. That's why I don't really go into the scriptures a whole lot about all of our patriarchs, about how they fell off. Let Yahweh reveal that, because you might find that you're blaspheming Yahweh by blaspheming the servant of Yahweh, right? We all know, we all can read. And if you haven't read, you should. But just read the life of David, Solomon, Jacob, All of the patriarchs, man. They went off here and there, some greater, some smaller. Confusion, had to pick themselves back up to remain on their path, But that's how we are. Because only Yahweh is perfect, man. But let me not preach. Let me go back and let's get it. Let's get Psalms 87, you know what I mean? Psalms 87. By the sons of Korah, a psalm, a song, whose foundation is in the holy mountains. Yahweh loves the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. The most glorious things are spoken of you, O city of Elohim, Selah. I mention Rahab and Babylon to those who know me. Behold, there are Philistia in Tyre with Cush. This one was born there. All of these places are bigging up Dawad. Oh, not just Dawad, the city of Dawad, Yasharal, where the presence of Yahweh dwells amongst Yasharal, right? But of Zion it can be said, man after man was born in her, and he, the Most High, maintains her thus. Yahweh will count when he records nations. This one was born there, Selah. But singers as well as flute players, all my well springs are in you, O Zion. Indeed, indeed. So I don't want to make this too long, but I just hope this was edifying to the brothers and sisters who are listening, And once again, come out them camps. If you if you are in a camp and you are not Yasharal alone, then that's the only camp you should be in. You are an Israelite. That's your only camp. Not IUIC, not ISUPK, not none of these camps. Y'all just making up things. That's why we can't unite under anything, because we're not just one camp. We are Yasharal. We are the camp of Yahweh, so to speak. Right? We are Yahweh. Right? Because we are manifestations of the light, who is Yahweh. But our highest manifestation can only be Yahweh. So don't get confused over what I'm saying now. Because we are not the creator. We're not the ineffable. We are not nothing, right? Which we know Yahweh dwells in nothingness. So don't get it twisted. But if you brothers want something to meditate on nothing. How do you clear your thoughts? How do you empty yourself and return to nothing? I guarantee you won't dwell there all the time, but just like Moshe, you will get close to the nothingness. And then you'll do an about face, and you'll turn around and you will respond accordingly. Some people don't ever make it back. Sometimes they get revealed, they get emptied out, they return to the dark part of their soul. They return to the bara, right? Bara. They turn back to Genesis, and sometimes they don't make it. Sometimes though, they turn around and their face is shining like Moses, and people are like, "Man, what happened to you?" Hey, man, I was before the presence of Yahweh. What do you think? Con. So, oh man, all praises to Yahweh, God, man, the one, the ineffable, the one who he be, the existence above all, the action and the person, the proverb and the verb, the stillness and the action, right? The one who keeps all things orderly, the one who orders principalities, the one who orders the hosts, who sends his warriors to uphold his name. All praises to Yahweh. That's right. That's right. Kill them with kindness. Get these 31 kings' heads. Take your land back. Right? Close down. Go inside. Return back to the beginning. Return back to the light before the sun and the stars were created. Return back to the vast emptiness where the spirit of Yahweh glides upon the deep waters. Return back. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. See, you brothers wonder why the so-called Asiatics were able to come across with so much wisdom and knowledge when they talked about like all the wisdom of the sages, so-called. You know how Eastern so-called philosophy is uplifted. But why is it? We're not talking about Eastern philosophy like these Masons. That's not Eastern philosophy. They're not Asiatic. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh. They're not Hebrews. They haven't crossed over anything. They haven't crossed over from the carnal place back to the spiritual place. They haven't crossed over. They're not Hebrew. Brothers and sisters, don't talk to me about Hebrew language, because if you are Hebrew, you are speaking the Hebrew language. If you take away time and space and you live in the presence of Yahweh from far and from near. Sometimes you will be far from the presence. Sometimes you'll be near. Right? Just like Moshe, you cannot stay in the presence or near it for extended periods of time. You have to return to the mountain, though, when the world is closing in around you.